of the stadium acknowledge me.
Say his name and he appears.
But say his name, he appears. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours, and results. Last night, I released my first ever Scoops music video. It is blowing up. It's going viral, as they say. As Logan Paul would say, it's going viral. He's making viral moments. Oh, a viral video, a Scoops music video. Now, this has been posted to the second as of, 23 hours and 57 minutes ago, if you want to be precise, when I've actually uploaded it. We have officially got these numbers. 7,368 views and counting. We have 140 likes, 43 comments, and a whopping 825 people have shared or saved the video. That's a viral video. And I mean, who could imagine a video being saved over 800 times, being viewed in the 7,000 plus range on Instagram? I mean, and it's an absolute great video. It's called I Believe in Scoops. And as I say his name and he appears. I Believe in Scoops. There it is, right there. So if you want to go check it out, you have to open the Instagram page. I can't stress enough. If you want to listen to this music video, it is on Instagram only. So Instagram at AFL Info Live is where you can get your Scoops music video, and it's one worth watching. I highly, 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 highly recommend it. A lot of people got around it. Most of it good. So appreciate those people that liked it. I know a lot of people want to see more of it, more Scoops music videos. Look, you'll just have to calm the farm. But it may not be a regular thing. It may be. You just never know. Say his name and he may appear. I believe in Scoops. That's it. So say his name, he may appear. Or not may, he does appear. So maybe say my name, and maybe a song will appear. I believe in Scoops. Now, right, enough of that. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any State League players, and you'd love to sit on the podcast, in the Golden Challenge, or an interview, please send me a message or try and get something sorted. I wasn't going to go through Scoops Goes Bang, and what I'm going to bang on about, you'll have to wait and see. My team in the week is here. My Supercoach talk, the review the rounds that's gone and upcoming. And, of course, welcome back to the Scoops 2024 rolling AFL All-Australian team. Yes, it is locked and loaded. I've told you once the stupid bye rounds were done and dusted, it was coming. And it's going to be revealed tonight on Kick It to Scoops. I want to aim for 20 likes to this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. We're on the road to 3K subscribers on YouTube, so please help me get there. Hanging to about 80 followers, I reckon, over the last 24 hours on Instagram because of the music video. See, we know what to do here at Scoops HQ. We know how to run the social media channels and get the engagement up. And absolutely, that's what that Scoops music video, debut music video, might I add. I've already had an influx of messages from people saying that they want to see more. They want to be a part of it. But let's see how many people actually say that. But yeah, it was a great video. I was looking forward to posting it. Just had to do a few little tweaks to make the video look perfect and, make it all make sense. Waving your hands around from side to side. That's what the video said. The words were said. So that's what you're going to do in the clips. It's the attention to detail, everyone, that you've got to be very important on. The clips, you saw the moment where then, now, forever together, and then the music plays instantly straight up. Like all these little details, you people got to understand how much work it to go into having to getting the correct seconds, finding the right clips that made sense in each part, and the words had to make sense and just randomly thrown words in. It was perfection. It rhymed and everything. And as I said, one more time, say my name and he appears. I believe in Scoops. as shall you. So, all right, let's go. Let's start off big with the world famous segment. Scoops goes bang, boom. Oh boy, what am I going to be on about today, Scoops? Well, first of all, let me talk to ya. Let's get rid of the buys for good. Get rid of the buys for good. They're rubbish. Also, another thing, get rid of the fixture where it clashes with other games. Okay? Like fair dinkum, how many weeks and years and months do we have to see this crap continue? Stop playing games at the same time, or basically where they're going to overlap each other. No one likes that. Footy fanatics like myself do not like clashed games where they overlap or they start the exact same time. And the AFL have it happening again. You got 2 1:45 games this week. You got 2 7:30 games this week on the Saturday. Like, fair dinkum, get rid of the crap. And in the state leagues, they do something similar as well. It's like, come on. You want people to attend all these games in all leagues, AFL, AFLW, state leagues. Don't clash games. It ain't that hard. You want attendances up? You want viewership up? Do not have them on at the same bloody time. Not that hard. And then from the AFL side of things, bring back the Thursday night games every freaking week. Apparently in the new contract from next year onwards is apparently going to be, which that's what we want. But that is what we want. We don't want no clashes. We want game after game after game. And they don't overlap. So you say, for example, in the AFL side of things, you would want, on the Saturdays, you will want the 1:45, the 4:35, the 7:35. Heck, even if there's a Perth game, 9:35 or 10, because that's 8 o'clock for them. Like, just do something like that. Boom. Easy fix. Start the games a little bit earlier on a Sunday if you have to, so you don't want to do night ones. So do 12 o'clock, do 4 o'clock, do 7 o'clock. Something. Quick thinking, Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane, which are the next and final topic on Scoops being here this evening. Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon should be out of the AFL. Now, a lot of people didn't like Gil and McLaughlin. I personally liked Gil, but a lot of people did for some stupid reason, and they thought he was bad. Well, what do you think now of Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane doing what they're doing right now? I've been telling you for a very long time that the umpiring has been a disgrace for a very long time. I've been told you how they run things with the fixtures and everything like that for years has been crap. And people have slowly started to catch on. And now the talk is ramped up to where commentators like Jared Waitley, Mark Robinson, etc., having to go with the fixtures, David King. Like, we know that the shows must go on in the right direction. The AFL must go on in the right direction, and that's not what it's doing right now. Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon are both ruining the game. The umpiring rules are a disgrace. How they interpret them is a disgrace. How they defend the umpire's ridiculous decisions is a disgrace. The contemplation of potentially not doing a mid-season trade period, in fact, saying it's not going to happen next year is a disgrace. Originally, when the idea was brought up, clubs were on board, and now they're magically not. Probably because you tweaked the rules there as well. And then you got the Father-Son Academy rule nonsense and stuff like that. Bidding systems, like you're trying to ruin all that. Like, please, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It doesn't need fixing. So leave it alone. I think I speak for more than just myself in this moment that Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon, you've had the job. You may have earned it, but you haven't delivered on the role. They both need to be out. Bring back Gil and McLaughlin. I understand he's a CEO at some betting agency, which I'm not mentioning because you shouldn't be doing any of that crap. But bring back Gil. Now, people that didn't like Gil, I bet you're begging for him to come back. Because you definitely don't want the two people in charge right now because they're doing an awful job at the moment. The umpiring again on the weekend, like I say every week, is useless. North Melbourne and Melbourne game, the umpiring was an absolute embarrassment in that game throughout the whole game. Melbourne got favoured in a lot of decisions. North got screwed in a lot of decisions. The Essendon one, I didn't know that Zach Merritt was playing volleyball on an AFL football field, which resulted in a Jai Caldwell goal, which it was 12 points with 5 minutes 41 to go at that time against the Eagles. So the Eagles got screwed of an opportunity to win that game. That's just 2 examples off the top of my head. The umpiring was a disgrace this round, but because there was so many blowouts, no one really took much notice of it. And maybe a lot of people have just got accustomed to shit umpiring in every game. Not that it should be accepted, but we've kind of accepted it because we know there's shit umpiring every single game in so many times. In some games cases, the whole game, and in some cases, most of the game. There doesn't go a game go by now where there's not shit consistent umpiring calls. I want you to tell me when the last game there was a game that was officiated correctly for every single decision. I bet you can't find one because I can't, and I'm sure plenty of you cannot either. To Andrew Dillon and Laura Kanan to the AFL, lift your game, pathetic, do the right thing and leave and get someone that knows what they're doing because they certainly do not. Lift your game, pathetic. All right, now. All right, I think it's now time to go through first my Scoops Round 15 AFL Team of the Week. Alrighty, let's go. From the back line, the pockets, Will Powell and Jaden Laverde. Full back, Charlie Cobden. Back line, the flankers, Harry Sheasel and Sam Flanders. Centre back, Tom Barras. Centre line wingers, Errol Goulden and James Rowbottom. And centreman, Tom Green. Forward line, the flankers, Eddie Ford and Eric Hipwood. And centre forward, Charlie Curnow. Forward line, the pockets, Jake Stringer and Sam Day. Full forward, Joe Danaher. Ruckman, Tom DeConning. Rovers, Patrick Cripps and Zach Butters. Interchange, Brody Grundy. Lockie Neal. Luke Davies-Uniacke. Sam Walsh and Alex Chincotta. The emergencies, Adelaide debutant Logan Evans. Andrew Brayshaw and Took Miller. Now, reasons for this team. Let's have a look. Oh. All right, so we got the team up here, ladies and gentlemen. So Will Powell, back into the team lineup. He played a really good game. He had like 22 disposals, had like 10 marks. It was really good in the back line where the back line wasn't at their best. Will Powell had a great game on the weekend, deserved a spot in the team of the week. Laverde had like 28 disposals for a key position defender. That was automatic. Charlie Cobden had like 12 intercept disposals and 1%. He deserved a spot as well. Harry Sheasel popped up for 2 goals and 27, was really good for the Roos. And he played off half back, so he deserved a spot. Sam Flanders had 33. He pushed in the midfield for like a quarter, but mainly played down back, deserved a spot. Tom Barras was awesome. 11 marks. He had I think he had 6 intercept marks or something. He was just killing it, Tom Barras. Errol Goulden had 41. I don't even need to explain anything else. Tom Green had 39. I don't have to explain myself again. Rowbottom kicked 2 and 32. Had 11 score involvements, deserved a spot on the wing. Eddie Ford. Now, some people will question this. I thought, how many contested marks did he get? I think he got 3 Eddie Ford. I liked Eddie Ford, the player. I think I'm sure the person too, but I haven't met him before. But he just seems to be that player for North that is always popping up at the right time. And he really deserved a spot in the team. And if North won, along with Sheasel and LDU, he really deserved a lot of credit. Charlie Curnow kicked 5. When does he not kick 4 or 5 now? Eric Hipwood was terrific. Joe Danaher was terrific, both kicking bags of goals and high disposals. Jake Stringer kicked 5. Speaking of high disposals, had 21 disposals. And Sam Day kicked 3, had 12 disposals. He made his presence known, Sam Day. Kicked 3, had 12 disposals, had 8 marks, 3 of those contested. Strong. Sam Day's game on the weekend is what the Suns will want Jen Walter and Ethan Reed to do, which they haven't done yet. And Sam Day, who was, honestly, was going to be cut last year, but with Chris Burgess and Marbell Chol requesting trades out of the club, and both were contracted, Sam Day survived. And quite frankly, it's worked out really well for the Suns and for Sam Day, as he's probably having one of his best years to date. when he's played in the VFL, he's looking 4 goals every week. And in the twos, in the ones when he's played about 3 or 4 games, he's been really handy in all of them. And was stiff to be dropped the first time come around when they brought Jed Walter back in from those Darwin games. Now we continue on here on the screen. Tom De Koning, a goal, 25 odd disposals, like 30 hit outs on his brother for parts of the game in the ruck, Sam De Koning, and did really well and did a number on him. Paddy Cripps at 41. I don't need to explain myself there. Zach Butters kicked a goal in 35 and had like 76% efficiency. Decent amount of clearances and score involvements. Despite the power being an embarrassment, Zach Butters was not. He was very good and deserves spot on the team. Brody Grundy was insane in the ruck. In the mid-20s again, around 40 hit-outs. Was an absolute lock, and he did a number on Kieran Briggs. Lockie Neal was really good in the midfield. Luke Davies-Uniacke in the midfield over a goal in 31. Absolutely deserved a spot in the team. Sam Walsh had 33 disposals. A lot of people didn't think he had the best of game, but I still thought he was reasonable and decent enough to deserve a spot in the team of the weekend. Alex Chincotta tagged Tom Stewart, who's having a terrible year. Tom Stewart is having a terrible year. He's been tagged out multiple times in multiple games this year. But Alex Chincotta did the job and got a couple of goals himself. I thought debutant for Port Adelaide, Logan Ems off half-back, had 20 disposals. I thought he could really, and they got him from their Sandful side. There's a few other players that are playing in the AFL that should be playing in the Sandful. Logan Ems got recruited from the Sandful, Port Adelaide Sandful side, and he's doing well. Maybe he's a player for the future for the Port Adelaide Football Club of half-back. Andy Brayshaw was the next mid, and then the next mid after Andy was Tuke Miller, who had 33 disposals. Well, a lot of people will go to his efficiency. Oh, come on, Scoops, 55%. He turned it over a bit. But, the things that you don't recognise what he did, like when Sam Day would be on the lead, Tuke will come past for the quick handball and get the delivery out. And the next hand was in the chain. And he did his job, I felt, and he deserves a spot in the squad, which is shown where he was in mine. Sam Walsh could have gone out for Andy Brayshaw or Tuke even, but that's who I went with. Let me know your thoughts on my team of the week and what you would have changed or done down below. Now, from one team of the week to the next. Well, not team of the week. Let's go through the debut for this season. The returning Scoops 2024 rolling all Australian team. Oh, here it is. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? A lot of people are turning up. What's going on? Hang on. What are you doing here? You're doing here? Okay, good. Right. No flash photography, please. No more. Right. So, please welcome to the real AFL rolling All-Australian team for 2024. This is a rolling All-Australian team, everyone, where you won't be disappointed. This is a rolling All-Australian team where I don't pick players off their name. I pick players that earn a spot, not through their name, but how they play on the football field, how their numbers stack up against everyone, how they've been this year. I don't go, oh, your team played shit, so you don't deserve a spot. I don't go, oh, your name's Toby Green, so you're going to get in. I'm not like the crew in the fake AFL All-Australian team panel led by Kane Corns and co. I don't pick like them. I don't just pick off name, and I don't just pick off who they like. I pick off who's actually been good. So please welcome to the Scoops 2024 AFL rolling All-Australian team as of right now. From the back line, we have Harry Sheasel. In the other pocket, Josh Battle. Full back, Jeremy McGovern. Half back line, the flankers, Sam Flanders and Jordan Clark. Centre half back, Mark Keane. Wingers, Chad Warner and Errol Goulden. Centreman, Caleb Sarong. Half forward line, the flankers, Jake Waterman and Harry Mackay. Centre half forward, Charlie Curnow. Forward pockets, Jack Higgins and Tyson Stengel. Full forward, Ben King. Ruckman, Rowan Marshall. Rovers, Adam Trelaw and Nick Dacos. Interchange, Max Gorn. Isaac Heaney. Luke Davies Uniac and Zach Merritt. Now, some people will get all controversial here going, come on, Scoops, you name 3 St Kilda players. Yeah. Well, let's get you the team up here before you just keep wrong one. Well, here it is, okay. So let's just go through it, okay. So now, unlike the team that I'm going to do this in the positions that we got here. Okay, so for example, on the bench we've got 2 mids, a mid forward, and a ruck. Okay, so let's just go through the defenders. I haven't picked a 7th defender per se, so I'm really confident with the players I have here. You have the key position players in Jeremy McGovern, Mark Keane, and Josh Battle. Jeremy McGovern, he's rejuvenated his career to a way. He's averaging over 20 disposals this year. He's taken mark after mark. He's still doing the intercept work that he's been very good at for his whole career. I mean, I don't care, as I said, how the Eagles have gone. Jeremy McGovern has been terrific. Josh Battle, the first thing people will say is, yep, a St Kilda player. Surprise, surprise. Well, last time I checked, the team doesn't have to go well for you to make any form of a team of the week or an rolling All-Australian team, All-Australian team, or even get Brownlow votes. Josh Battle is, he's having his career best season this year. Intercept mark after intercept marked. He's getting a lot of disposals as well. He's doing a lot of damage. When the Saints are on fire or scoring, Josh Battle's always involved, and he's doing really, really well, and I really hope he does stay, and he deserves a bloody spot. Now, Mark Keane will probably be the most controversial one of this entire team that I've picked. Well, not in my eyes, but in a lot of people's eyes. So let me explain to you. He's had a really good season. A guy who's come from nowhere. He was at Collingwood. He left and went back home to Ireland. And came back to the Crows, or not back to the Crows, but back to Australia, to the Crows. But I'm going to read you his stats. Now, I'm not going to do this for the rest of them because I don't need to. But I feel like people will argue this one a lot. So let me get Mark Keane's stats up for you all. I've been really impressed with how he's gone. He's averaging 17.2 disposals this year. He's averaging 4.5 spoils a game. He's in intercept marks. He's averaging a couple a game. 81% efficiency. His kicking efficiency is 77.5. He's got 5.51 percenters per game. Got 5 contested possessions a game. 7.6 intercepts a game. I mean, if you just watch a game, 6.2 marks a game. 4.3 spoils a game. So. And he's only lost, and I want you people to stress this enough, he's won 76% of his defensive losses, defensive wins, 76%, which is pretty high. And I've really liked the form of him this year. Again, a guy who's only 24 years of age. And the side that struggled, I think he's done really well and warranted a spot in the team. I mean, I know people won't think so, but I think he does. And quite frankly, the other people that people would throw up, like Harris Andrews and Stewart, I don't think so. And then Luke Ryan, I mean, you could argue Luke Ryan, and I mean, you can mount a good case for Luke Ryan, but I think his inconsistencies over the last month has not got him in the team. It's just too much to deal with. I know full well in Supercoach, that's what he's done to me. That's not why he's in. That's why he's not. That's not why he's not in. Jordan Clark, terrific. Off halfback, 26 disposals. He's been terrific. And then you got Flanders. Jordan Clark's averaging about 27 disposals. He's running carry. His ball use has been really good. He's been damaging. Like Sam Flanders, averaging over 30 this year. Harry Sheasel is 6th in the competition for the disposals, and he's having a really good year again. Been floating through a few positions, but mainly down back, and he's warranted spot. So that's a very strong back six for me. And you got Keenan McGovern can hold the 2 key talls. Then Battle can play on smalls, talls, medium size. He can play on them all. And then Flanders and Sheaves and Clark are the running halfbacks. And even Josh Battle and Markeen to a degree can play running roles as well. But in this team, they can play more of a lockdown role and a bit of intercept marking. All right, so let's now go through the forward line. So we've got, obviously, Waterman, Curnow, and Ben King, the three highest, most goals this year, all warranted a spot. All three of them have been very consistent. Harry Mackay, you could say, argues this is a bit of a tall forward line, but Waterman can play small. Curnow is very mobile. So really, Harry Mackay and Ben King are the two tall guys. Waterman and Curnow are quick for their size, and they can run around the ground if need be. But obviously, they can stay up forward, but they can move up the ground as well. Harry Mackay, I mean, he's had a terrific year. He's kicked in the top 10 for the goals this year. I mean, I think he's really earned it. I know he's had 32 goals this year, and he's fifth in the Coleman right now. So, I mean, he's done really well, but he's got a lot of the ball this year, Harry. And for a guy who's been criticised by a lot of so-called experts at his goal kicking, he's really turned it up. They've gone very silent. He's getting a lot of the ball this year, and I think that's what's got him in contention for me. He's averaging 13.5 disposals this year for a key forward. That's really good. And he's having a lot of games where he's heavily impacting. He's kicking 3 goals a game with like 15 touches, and that's really good and consistent he's been. And Carlton have been on 5 for most of this year, thanks to those 2 key pillars in Curnow and Mackay. Now, Tyson Stengel has the most goals for a small forward this year in total, with 28, averaging 14 disposals. I mean, he is the highest ranked disposals and goals. I mean, goals for a small forward. And because there wasn't many, jumping out options, he deserved a spot. Charlie Cameron has had a terrible year. Toby Green's missed games and is not considered at all for me. Tom Papley's been average for his standards, so he wasn't considered either. And Jack Higgins, on average, has the most goals for a small forward this year. He's played only 11 games. He's kicked 23 goals. He's averaging 14.2 disposals. So like Stengel, and if he'd played every game and wasn't suspended for the bullshit of reasons, he would probably have 30 goals already, and which clearly would put him in the top 5 for the Coleman if that was the case. So Jack Higgins deserves a spot in the team. You can't argue that one. Now the ruckman. So I've gone to 2, one on the field, one on the bench. I got Rowan Marshall and Max Gawn. I know people are me crying, going, "Oh, how could you have Marshall? You're biased." No, not biased at all. If you go look at the stats, Marshall's impact in the game, like Gawn, is terrific. I mean, they're both there, so I mean, can't complain about it really. Rowan Marshall's averaging for a ruckman 20.3 disposals this year, 20.3. That's elite. He's averaging 6 clearances a game for a ruckman is bloody impressive. He's averaging 5 tackles for a ruck. He's averaging 5 marks. He's been killing it, Rowan Marshall. He's averaging 11 contested possessions a game, 4.5 intercepts a game, 5 ground ball gets a game. So he puts in a lot of effort. I mean, the people that say that he butchers it, when you're under that much pressure and the way he plays, it's always going to affect your stats efficiency-wise slightly. And he gets a couple of intercept marks hard around the ground. You can see him down in the last line of defense. You can see him on the last line in the forward line. You can see him in the midfield running like a midfielder. He plays like a midfielder at his height. He's been freaking awesome this year, Rowan Marshall, and I would be nervous to know where we would be without Rowan Marshall this year, although TC, Tommy Campbell, did well with the 2 tandem in ruck in the Brisbane game. So that's my decision there. Max Gawn, I know he's been terrific as well. I'm not disputing that at all. Averaging the same amount of disposals, 20 disposals as well. 5.5 clearances, so that's the same as well. So, yeah, a lot of Max Gawn stats are really identical to Rowan Marshall, averaging 5.6 marks a game, which is Marshall like 5.7, I think it was. 5.5, 5.7, whatever, same thing, pretty much. So, yeah, they've both been terrific, hard to split, so they're both in the team. Now let's go into the midfield brigade, which will include Heaney in this. You could also push him up forward as well, obviously, to kick goals. We got the wingers in Goulden and Warner. I know Warner can play inside, but we need a winger, and he plays there as well. And then you got Goulden and Rowbottom and Florid and Parker when he's been there. I know not this year, but just in general. So, yeah, so they're versatile players. Sarong, probably the best inside or one of the best inside mids this year. Adam Treloar, to me, is being the best consistent midfielder this year. Not only is Adam Treloar averaging the most disposals this year, I think a lot of people need to put respect on the name of Adam Treloar. He's got the most disposals this year, averaging 32.2 disposals, averaging 5 tackles a game, 6.2 clearances a game. Adam Treloar is killing it. And, for a guy that's been criticised for his disposal efficiency, it's in the 70s, 72.5 to be precise. So he absolutely deserves a spot there. And it's great to see. And I don't like the disrespect that people are giving Adam Treloar throughout his whole career, and in particular now. He's clearly been their best player of the Bulldogs. No one can dispute otherwise. Now, Nick Dacos, I wouldn't have had him in the first 5 weeks or so, but he's, as expected, Nick Dacos has been delivering in big moments in the Essendon game and Carlton game, etc. Kicked goals off his own back. He's got his team back when against North, when Clarko decided to make that stupid decision to take Will Phillips off him, and Dacos just went bang, 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 Pies win, albeit in controversial fashion, and North got robbed. But Dacos was the reason why they got back from 54 points down. And not just in that game, but he's had moments like that's what I'm getting at. And now he's deserves a spot in the starting team. And then obviously Heaney's been terrific. He started like a house on fire and still been pretty consistent. Dropped off a little bit in patches. You could say he was stiffer on the field and for Sarong potentially, and I would understand that. Or for Dacos even, but that's what I've done. LDU, despite his team being rubbish, he has not been rubbish. He's been fantastic. He's been killing it, LDU. Averaging 28.3 disposals this year. 6 clearances a game, so 6.3 to be precise. 3.5 tackles a game. 71.2% efficiency overall. He's been impacting their game. He is working hard and wants the team to do well. And Zach Merritt, for Essendon, that's done well on the ladder. I don't think personally they've done that well. They've had the easiest fixture of the lot, and they'll continue to have that. So that if they make finals, yes, they only can beat who's put in front of them, but they haven't really played anyone good to get to the point where they're potentially going to go. Zach Merritt, though, 28.6 disposals, 5 clearances a game, 5 tackles a game, 4 marks a game. His efficiency is 70.3. So if you want to criticise Adam Treloar and people like that for their efficiency, a lot of these names that I got in are in the 70% range. So let's pipe down. So, yeah, that's my Scoops rolling All-Australian team. A good team. Not wrong like the fake All-Australian team. Let me know your thoughts down below, which I'm sure you're doing already. Leave a like if you haven't already, subscribe if you haven't already, and go watch some of my most recent videos. All right. Now, no, that's not coming yet. So let's now go through my Supercoach talk. I scored 1,766. I have 8 trades remaining at the start of this round. I only have 1 rookie on the field, and it's Max Gruski, who I brought in last week. Ari Schollmaker, I can officially reveal that I brought in this week for Toby Pink at this stage. If things happen, players get dropped, etc. I have other players that I need to take it and prioritise, etc. I've got Billy Dowling stuck in my midfield bench. Can't swap him to the forward line. Only if I do that for Nat 5. And then I would have Nat 5 on the midfield bench, which is stupid, but I've got all premiums in the midfield. So I don't want 5 on the bench, and I don't want 5 going on the midfield ground for a premium. Just as obviously stupid. So, yeah, I've got to work a way to potentially bring in Billy Dowling. Look at that, taking out Newen from the Roos and Will Dawson. Potentially bringing, a mid-forward from there, but there's none really to get. So there's a little conundrum I have there, but I'll have to work through that. I'm in the top 29%, dropped about 3% in the rankings, which I'm not too pleased about. But here we are. Now, let's go through what my score is. So, not my score, sorry, my league rankings with the people in it. Now, I know I've had it checked last night, but I've dropped 9 spots, which is annoying, 148th now. Rolls Macca is in first place. Declan, Rowan the Saints, the second. Jesse is third. Zach is fourth. M3, Andrew is 5. And if we scroll down, Shane O is 12th, followed by Graz, followed by Studi in 21st place, and Graz in 24th place. So congratulations to those people, I guess. All right, now, so I've got 7 trades right here. If I include that Ari Schollmaker trade from Pink to Schollmaker. Now, let's go review the round 15 games. Also, a reminder too, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, and love some of the podcast and Gold King Challenge or an interview, please send me a message or try and get something sorted. I haven't had an interview for about 14 days. It's been annoying. Almost 14 days, technically. I think it's 13 today. So, yeah, you know what I mean. So, it's disappointing, and I want to get more. So, if you know any AFLW players, any AFL players, State League players like Waffle W, VFLW, Sample W, Sample, VFL, Waffle, or up-and-coming draftee, please let me know, and we'll try and get something sorted for an interview or Gold King Challenge. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Round 15 games. There's a lot of shit games, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this if I'm being brutally honest. Carlton 138 to Geelong 75. Carlton by 63 points. Geelong's decline is real. How many times I have to tell you? Geelong got handed 3 games due to match fixing in the first 7 games. The St Kilda game. And there was 2 other games they got. I think it was Adelaide and someone else. So they got lucky there. They really should have been 4-3. And then if it wasn't for the Richmond one, they would have lost the last 7 games in a row. But Richmond should have buried them, and they didn't. And the goal kicking, and then Richmond, in typical Richmond, lost. So really, in the real ladder, Geelong should be 5 and 9, but they're 7 and 7. But the decline is real. Tom Hawkins, unfortunately, may have played his last ever game in the AFL, hurting his foot. Dangerfield spoke today. Scott doesn't know. They're keeping it a bit quiet. They got the scans back, they say, and they don't want to reveal everything right now, which isn't great signs. They say, and then Dangerfield was saying about he's had the problem before and it's not ideal and everything like that. So the signs are showing that this could be the end for Tom Hawkins. And if it is, congratulations to Tom on his career. I think he's played 359 games off the top of my head. I've met Tom before. Good guy, but yeah, it'd be unfortunate way for him to end. But for his team, they were absolutely shit. And if they think that going forward that midfield's going to work with when Tanner Bruin is playing, who only missed this week, but he played the week prior, Bowes and Daintree won't be there after next year. So it's just like, what the hell is that midfield? Max Holmes? It's like, nah, that's a VFL level midfield. Bowes and Bruin are VFL level players. And really that's what it is. So, yeah, terrible for them. Carlton, as I said, Mackay and Kerner and Cripps and Walsh and Chincotta are really good. And Tom De Koning as well, of course. Port Adelaide 73, Brisbane 152, Brisbane by 79 points at the Adelaide Oval. This is what I should have mentioned on Scoops Goes Bang. The Port Adelaide, let me get the banner up. Scoops Goes Bang again. The Port Adelaide fans who treated Ken Hinkley like that need to lift their game. That was atrocious. I'd be embarrassed as a Port fan, if I was, which I'm not, if I saw what they did to Ken. When he was on the big screen, they were booing him loud. Last time I hate the Port fans. They keep saying it's Ken's this, Ken's that. And when you're winning, it's Josh Carr or it's the players. No, you can't have it both ways. If you're losing, it's because of the same person or same group of people. If you're winning, it's because of the same group. Don't chop and change because to suit your bloody narrative. The toxic behaviour, which is what the AFL's headline used, toxic, and that's what it is. The ultimate disrespect to Ken Hinkley is ridiculous. The amount of sucking up they'll do if they bloody shoot up the ladder and they win the grand final. Oh, I love you, Ken. They would say, nah. If I was Ken, I'd go, no, screw you. You were shitting on me for months before during the season. Now we're doing well again, and now you want to praise me now. Nah, I'd be, you know what? If Ken left whenever he leaves the Port Adelaide Football Club, and if he says he wants to thank the players and the coaching staff, yada, yada, and he doesn't really mention the fans, I'm not going to be having to go at him for doing so. He has every right to not thank the fans because they've been an absolute disgrace to him over the last few years in particular. It's like they make campaigns, get Ken out. I read all their social posts, like the comment section, and it's just an absolute disgrace and pretty embarrassing. This guy gets you to prelims. What is some new coach going to do? Any better? I don't think so. And certainly not during the season when you've got the same players. How about you put some onus on the players? Like Butters and Rosie and Horn, for instance, have been pretty shit the last month. They're meant to be their 3 best players. They failed their recruiting into Sava Radaglia, Brandon Zerk Thatcher, Jordan Sweet, and Ivan Soldo. All 4 have failed, and Jason Cripps admitted so their head of footy on Friday to John Ralph. Like, they failed. I could have told you that before you bloody recruited all the 4 sample hacks. Because that's what they are. They may be good people, but they're terrible footballers. And you recruited 4 fringe players, and you paid the ultimate price, paying 2 2 second rounds for Radigalia and for Soldo. It's just like, and then Zerk Thatcher was around the mark. Like, and they had the futures first with Freo and all this stuff. Like, nah, that's bad recruiting, and they're bad players. That's not necessarily on Ken. That's what the list manager's job is to do. So maybe put some pressure on the list management side of things, and maybe those individual players that are playing shit, and the ones that are paid the big bucks to do so. Is Connor Rose again in the captaincy let him down? I stopped his form. Can't really use that as an excuse. I think Connor will be one of the first ones to tell you that he's not having a great year. I mean, he still had decent games, don't get me wrong. But Butters has been good and then been shit the last month. Horn Francis, well, I mean, a glazing for some people that give him is ridiculous, and I don't think he's been that good either. Obviously, he's had good games, sure, but he's had more bad than good. And he hasn't been seen the last month, and the Port fans that were glazing him like Kane Corns a month ago aren't saying shit about him now. They've gone very quiet. How put some onus on the players to lift their bloody game? You know, Charlie Dixon getting suspended for 3 weeks last week in the sample, which he bloody deserved, by the way. The guy got concussed number 1, and the action was like a little bump. Not little, the bump. Dixon's a hothead. Simple. Some players are like that. They're hotheads. And you know how to get under some players' skin, and Charlie Dixon showed why he deserved to be dropped. He had a good career, but right now he's on the decline like Geelong are. And Porter can continue to be on the decline if they keep playing like this. And I wouldn't fully be blaming Ken at all. Sure, he has to get some blame, but not all. I'm putting onus on the players to lift their bloody game, but they're playing secure this week. So if you want to wait another week to be shit and then be better the week after, by all means, happy to have that happen, but just not this week. So put some onus on the players and the fans that are booing Ken Hinkley to the levels they are doing it at. Get a grip and lose your membership. I don't think they would want you back if you're going to treat Ken like that. Done. Right, let's go back to the games. Probably were garbage, and besides Logan Evans, who made his debut, I don't think, and not Kane Farrell, who was the other player? Zach Butters. Besides Zach Butters and to a degree, kind of Rosie and potentially Farrell and Logan Evans, why did the rest bother even turning up? Like absolute crap. Jordan Sweet, I mean, Jesus Christ. Ivan Soldo, useless. Like, it might seem harsh, but it's the truth. Harsh reality. And their recruiting needs to be questioned for what they did. Brisbane, though, Neil and Hipwood and Danaher, terrific games. Charlie Cameron, I mean, I feel like he's out of contract this year. He'd be one to watch. I think he's having a terrible year. Obviously, he's a really good player, but you'll have to wait and see what his future lies at the end of the year. Very, very interesting. Let's just say that, to say the least. All right, so now let's move on to the next game, which was Sydney and GWS. Sydney 102, GWS 75. Swans was 27 points. Again, don't let the margin fool you. The Giants got an ass whooping. It's like 60 points at some point, and they just had a good last quarter to make the margin look a bit more respectable. They were garbage, GWS as well. Another shit game, and a lot of players that didn't even bother turning up, except for Tom Green, who was awesome, and to a degree, Lockie Whitfield and Finn Callahan. The Swans, Grundy, Goulden, Rowbottom, Warner, Heaney, Taylor Adams even, Blakey, Florent, really good. I mean, obviously, Joel Amati did nothing, so I've got to give credit to Lekalia, who played on Joel Amati, who did absolutely nothing after kicking 9 the week prior. I knew this had happened, that he kicked 9 and then he'll kick 0. He's one of those players that, that was just a fluke. But yeah, Lekalia did well in the names I mentioned previously. Briggs was terrible. Brody Grundy destroyed him. But yeah, not putting any more comments on this game. That was useless. Melbourne 70, North Melbourne 67, Melbourne by 3 points. This was the one of only two good games this round. I see some commentary saying what a great round of footy was. That's an absolute laugh to say that. There was 2 reasonable games and the rest were crap. And this was one of the reasonable ones, and it was Melbourne by 3 points. I mean, umpiring galore, shit calls in this game. I'm not even going to go through it. I'm just sick of talking about the shit umpiring, and it's a consistent thing. You know, LDU was good, Sheezer was good, Eddie Ford was terrific. Chips and Cherry beat Max Gorn. You know, Jack Viney was okay, Trent Rivers was okay. And Stephen May had his moments unlucky, but I don't know how Melbourne won this because they didn't really have anyone that played well. Honestly, that's right, the umpiring, that's right. Because Pickett did nothing, Bailey Fritsch did nothing, Harrison Petty did nothing. You know, some of the guys on those guys are on a lot of money as well and aren't worth that. Adelaide dodged a bullet with Harry Petty, offering him $1 million. Jesus Christ. Zach Fisher had his moments. Jai Simpkin I thought was really good. Cam Zerhard did kick 4. And Will Phillips did some tagging as well and did a decent job again. This time, Clarko learned his lesson and didn't sub him off this time. All right, the next game. Kynan Brown, who probably got a match-saving tackle at the end of Debutant, was a sub. I don't like debutants as subs. I've always said that. I think it's a disgraceful thing to do, an embarrassment from clubs to do that, and a lot of them do it. Melbourne were the only ones. Kilda's done it themselves, and I don't like it. North have done it in the past. Collingwood have. I don't like it. I think it's a disgusting move. Essendon 122 to West Coast 92. As I mentioned earlier, Zach Merritt threw the bloody ball like a volleyball style. Don't tell me it's not a throw because it was. Even the commentary said it too. Not that they're always right, but it was clearly a throw. If you don't think it's a throw, you don't know what you're talking about. It ruined their momentum. The Eagles were coming. Barras and McGovern and Yo and Waterman were pushing and pushing. And then they got screwed by this ridiculous decision. And then Essendon pulled a few on to make the margin look worse than it actually was. Jake Stringer was really good. Laverde had his moments. Caldwell had his moments. And Merritt. How Darren got the 10 coaches votes is a laugh, by the way. But there's a reason I really bring up coaches' votes because they're an absolute laugh, some of the votes they do, seriously, and the favouring they do with certain players. I thought Jamie Cripps was good with 2 goals, 3 as well, and 19 touches and 5 tackles, I think it was, for Jamie Cripps. Let's have a look. Let me get it back up. Jamie Cripps, 4 tackles, 4 marks. Close enough, eh? And the final game, Gold Coast and Freo. Freo in Perth, this was Freo by 20 points, 85 to 65. I thought Tuke Miller had a reasonable game. That's what the efficiency, what that says and what people thought. And I said that in the team of the week earlier and why he was on the emergency list. Sarong was good for Freo. Sam Day was terrific for the Suns. Andy Brayshaw was good. I thought, you know, Sam Day, as I said, he played terrific. Sean Darcy probably beat my man Witsy. Sam Flanders and Will Powell was really good. Will Powell had 22 disposals with 12 marks and 96% efficiency. 6 intercept possessions. Had a really strong game, 12 marks, and 2 of those were contested marks. But yeah, that's a round for round 15, a rubbish round and a round to be forgotten and never will be remembered. The only thing to be remembered for is shit umpiring. Now let's go through the final thing we're going to go through today is a preview of the round 16 games. Let's start off. Finally, back to full rounds, but no Thursday nights, which is bullshit. Bring back Thursday nights, Andrew and Laura. Friday night at the Gabba, we've got Brisbane hosting Melbourne, 7:40 Vic time. I'm going for the Lions to win this by 25 points. Melbourne, if they were playing North, they would have lost on the weekend. Speaking of North, Saturday, 1:45 at Marvel Stadium, we've got North Melbourne hosting the Bulldogs. I'll be going by the Bulldogs, unfortunately, in this one by 20 points. Hopefully the Roos can get the job done. Also, Saturday at 1:45. Saturday again at 1:45 again with the stupid clashes. Got the Swans hosting the Dockers. I'm going the Swans by 20 points here. Might even say more, but I'll go to 20. Saturday, 4:35 at Heritage Bank Stadium. I'm going to call it, refuse to call it the other name. Gold Coast beat Collingwood. 4:35 on Saturday. I'm going the Suns in this one by 5 points in a close game because they're playing at home. They haven't lost at home yet. And they haven't won away from home yet. So, Adelaide and GWS, Saturday night at the Adelaide Oval, 7:30 Vic time. Again, the Giants for 30 points. The final game on Saturday night is Geelong and Essendon at the MCG, 7:30 Vic time in the MCG. Again, another clash. I'll be tipping Essendon in this one by 5 points. On Sunday, we've got the 3 games. Sunday first at Marvel Stadium, it's my Saints hosting Port Adelaide, 1:10 Vic time. I'm going to tip the Saints here by 2 points. Hopefully Jimmy Webster comes back. Simon and Malira comes back. Potentially Tim Embry comes in. And maybe Liam Stocker. But I would just rather team out on the weekend, add in Malira and potentially Webster. Potentially Sharman or Membry. All right. The next game to go through is Richmond v Carlton. 320 victory time in the MCG. I'm going to tip Carlton in this one by 45 points. And the final game to go through, West Coast and Hawthorn at Optus Stadium, Sunday 4:40 victory time at Optus Stadium. I'm going to tip the Hawks by 17 points in this one. My final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo at cameo.com/Cooper G. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/Cooper G. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Share these videos around, get your mates on board. And just remember, if you would like to watch the debut Scoops music video, I Believe in Scoops, say his name and he appears. It is on the Instagram channel only. So if you want to watch it, you have to go to the Instagram channel. If you don't have an account, well, bad luck. It's AFL Info Live. You'll have to search it up on Google then. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. And if you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any state league players that I've seen on the podcast and Gold King Challenge or an interview, please send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. I would greatly appreciate it. It's been really light on for Gold King Challenge and interviews the last few weeks. Thank you all. And the most important thing of all to remember is go to the Saints. And, of course, acknowledge me, the one. And, of course, all aboard the Filippo train, then, now, forever, together. And bring back Mateus and the team. All aboard the Filippo train, then, now, forever, together.